So today I'm going to have a look at these. I've just got these. Well, I've had them a couple of days now. The Hikmicro Habrock multispectral binoculars, digital binoculars. So I'm going to look at these more from an air gunner's perspective, because there's lots of reviews of these already online. Most of them focusing on deer stalking and fox control, to be fair. So I'm going to look at them from an air gunner's point of view, because that's what I've mainly bought these for, to be honest, and see whether I think they're going to be of benefit to an air gunner more than a sort of entry-level thermal monocular. So first things first, as with most Hikmicro stuff, extraordinarily good case, nice get you up and going quickly instruction book, though it has to be said that the more detailed instructions on how to use these things, you download it online from the Hikmicro website. Comes in a really nice box with everything you need. So you get in here, you get the binoculars, obviously. You get the strap that I've already fitted on. Nice padded Hikmicro strap. In the box you get 4 batteries. You get a charging cable. You get a little adapter so you can mount the binoculars on a tripod. Cleaning cloth and a 4-station charger, as well as a little bag to put them in when you're not using them. So pretty comprehensive set of kit. Everything you need is in the box. So on the box gives you the details, the usual blurb. So it's a 4K ultra high definition image, 5.5 to 22 digital zoom. Reckons it's got 1,000 meters thermal detection range, 1,000 meter laser rangefinder on board as well, and video and audio recording as well. Also connects to the Hikmicro app, so you can download images and information, and also if updates become available, you can update them from that app as well. So binoculars. So what is the benefit, or what is the usage of these to the air gunner? So most air gunners hunt at night, or a great many of them shoot at night. I almost exclusively hunt at night now because I hunt rabbits mainly, and I've recently done a couple of golf courses and paddocks and also a racetrack. So on those places, because they're in use during the daytime by the general public, obviously it's not ideal to go wandering around with an air rifle. So most of my shooting or hunting at night is carried out at night now, and I use the latest Hikmicro Alpex 4K, though I have used all sorts, wraiths and all sorts of stuff. So in the past I've used numerous thermal binoculars. The Falcon is the best that I've had. Superb thing. Image clarity on that is unbelievable for a thermal. It really is absolutely amazing. See individual hairs on your quarry. It really is quite astonishing. But they're about 1,600 quidish, which is a lot of money. They're about 500 quid dearer than these, in other words. And they're only a thermal monocular. So at night you can struggle with judging range. It's difficult at night. Now you can buy a lot of night sights now come with thermal rangefinders fitted to them, like the Alpex 4K, some of the Pards, some of the Sightongs. There's loads these days that come with an LRF on them. And the only problem I found rabbiting with those is that If you're foxing, then they're really handy because you can fix your rifle up on a tripod, or you'll have it on its bipod leaning on your truck or a cab or something you've set up to enable you to be fairly static. Very few fox hunters wander around the fields with their rifles. They tend to find a static position and then call the foxes in and shoot them. So there's very little actual sort of wandering around done. Now, if it's your laser rangefinder is mounted on your rifle, the problem you have is that you have to continually mount your rifle and hold it steady while you operate the laser rangefinder, and this can be a little bit tiring and a little bit awkward, especially if it's a windy night. So it can be a bit of a pain in the backside, and I must admit I've never been an overly big fan of laser rangefinders attached to the actual sight itself. It's okay if you're shooting off tripods or from a fixed position, shooting from inside your car or shooting out the back of a pickup or whatever. Then that's fine because you're static, nice and stable, and you can fiddle around, take your time to do it and do it right. The advantage with these is not only do you have your thermal channel, and now they call it an entry-level thermal channel, but please do not think that because they sell these as an entry-level thermal device that what you're going to get is like on the very first sort of thermals that came out, where what you saw was a fairly unrecognisable bright white blob, or black blob if you're in black heat, that was difficult to recognise what the hell it was until you were really close. These, they're entry level, but they're entry level by today's standards, so things have moved on considerably. As I say, the Falcons are superb. You can see the individual hairs on your quarry. They're amazing. So these are entry level, but these are very good. You'll see some images that I've put up at the end of this video. I was looking at gulls on the other side of the river and cattle and whatnot, and a buzzard flying in the sky, all at sort of 500 yards on the laser rangefinder, and all straight away you knew what they were. I'm going out tonight to try some rabbits, so I'll put those on there as well. So at 500 yards you can recognise what you're shooting at, or rather what you're looking at, easily through the thermals. It's not as good as a Falcon and some of the other top-notch ones, admittedly. It isn't. It is an entry-level thermal, but it is way better than the entry-level thermals that were out even just 24 months ago. Far better. It's very good. Hugely impressed by the quality of the thermal. So you pick them up with your thermals, and the advantage of thermal, I've said it before, it's quick. So when you look in a field, you don't have to scan around using the night vision to pick up the eyes and whatnot, and sometimes difficult to pick stuff up instantly. With a thermal, if there's a living thing or a hot thing out there, bang, it shows up clear as daylight straight away, instantly. Makes target acquisition really quick. So you've got that, you've got your thermal. You've also got night vision that is equivalent to your Alpex. So you may be thinking, well, why do you need that when you've got thermal? Well, thermal's good, but it doesn't always tell you. It picks up that heat signature, but it doesn't always tell you whether whatever it is that you see in your rabbit or whatever is obscured by grass or twigs or a bit of debris, because that heat signature will come through that, which is one of the advantages of your thermal. The advantage of your night vision is that shows you in far more detail if there's anything in front of that target. So if it's in a clump of grass, if it's obscured slightly by brambles, weeds, nettles and whatnot. It doesn't so much matter to your rimfire shooter, because a rimfire rifle will go through most clumps of grass, nettles and stuff like that easily. But with an air rifle you need a nice clear shot. So because this is exactly the same as the Alpex, it is crystal clear and very easy to identify. It also has its own focusable IR illuminator on board as well to help. And the other advantage of the fact that it's got the same night vision as the Alpex is that the low light capabilities are absolutely blisteringly superb. So even when it's almost too dark to see, this thing will show you quite clearly what you're looking at. Excellent. It goes from 5.5 to 22. Now, admittedly, at 22 times, because it's a binocular, unless you've got it mounted on a tripod or you're leaning on a car or a fence post or something, 22 times mag in a pair of binoculars is quite difficult to use because you get a lot of wobble on the image, so it's very difficult to get a nice crystal clear image. So going up to 22 times, unless you've got it fixed on something, like any binoculars, or a spotting scope or whatever, or even your telescopic sight, if you go up to 22 times on a telesight, you really need to be leaning on a bipod or something to get a nice clear image. Up to 11 times, it's fine. You can cope with that, just like normal binoculars. Now, obviously, the digital image, the digital daytime image is very good. Up to 11, brilliant. 22, start to get a little bit of pixelation in there, but not a lot, but it's still clear. But up to 11, it's very good. It's never going to be as good as a pair of high-end binoculars, though. Something like a pair of Swaros or something like that. It's never going to be that good, but it's really good. Sort of equivalent to a digital camera or your phone screen. So the image is nice and clear, easy. So you can use them as a normal pair of binoculars, right up to it's almost dark, which again is really handy for the air gunner because it enables you to spot whatever you want to shoot at dusk. You know, gives you a much longer range and it draws in more light than the human eye. So, and again, brilliant for air gunning. So there you go. So it's got thermal, it's got night mode like on your Alpex and day mode like on your Alpex, and it's got its own inbuilt IR illuminator. It's also got a laser rangefinder out to 1,000 meters, and it's accurate, it says, to plus or minus a meter or so, which is very good. And again, because it's a separate unit, it's easier to hold these to your eye and hold them steady than it is if you're looking through your rifle scope. Instructions are so easy that I didn't even bother reading the instruction manual. I literally got it out of the box, put the batteries in, and off I went. On and off, obvious. Record, you can take stills or record. That one. This one here is the laser rangefinder. So on, long press for on, and then a quick press to range it. Over here, this one here is the zoom, so plus or negative on your zoom. Memory is where all the menu, M is the menu button. It's where all the settings are. So you can alter all the settings in here, but I've just left it as it came, to be honest. So you know you can alter the brightness and whatnot, alter the refresh rate on the thermal, all that sort of stuff. And then at the front here, this one here switches between the modes. So you press that to scroll from, you can go from thermal, night vision, day digital vision, quite easily. Focus the thermal with this ring, focus the day one with this ring here, dead simple. Nice, reasonable tautness on them, not too loose so it's not going to flop around, but not too tight that you're going to struggle to adjust them. As I said, IR here, adjustable with this. So spot or flood. The objective lenses move apart, so these slide open or close to cope with however narrow or wide your eyes are on your head. And they've got focus as well that you can set. Nice little rubber eye cups. Underneath, a fixing point for your tripod attachment. And your batteries sit inside of these compartments here. So, oh, it's got little flick off lens covers as well to stop the lenses getting battered. So, what do I think of it as an air gunning extra? Well, I'll be honest with you, I think it's brilliant. It replaces binoculars, a thermal, and a sort of easy to use night vision thing. So you can leave your rifle strapped over your back now go in your field at night, put your thermal on, pick up what you're looking for, switch over to that straight away, just with the press of a button, and check it out, make sure it's unobscured, laser range find it, and then if it's close enough, just get your rifle up and bang, away you go. If it's out of range, stalking, nice and quiet, and then likewise take the shot. In the daytime, again, thermal for hidden stuff, squirrels in trees, pigeons and whatnot. You've got your digital binoculars for scanning at range, see what's out before you even get in the field, and up to 22. Admittedly, at 22, like any binoculars or anything like that, at 22, probably better if you can lean on something to use them, but up to 11 you can use them handheld like any decent pair of normal binoculars. The image is really good, really good. Up to 11 times mag, it's superb, really is. So yeah, really good to have a usable pair of binoculars. It's light, it's fairly compact, the body is magnesium, so it's not a cheap plasticky thing. As you would expect from Hikmicro, the quality seems to be right up there. I think from an air gunning perspective, these will or could replace the separate LRF binoculars and thermal. You've got everything in one bit of kit. So whilst, you know, I think they're retailing at just under 1,200 quid, sounds expensive. If you think even a moderate pair of binoculars, 500-600 quid, laser rangefinder, a couple of £100, and then a thermal binocular, again, even a cheap entry level one, sort of 6. So really, by the time you bought all those bits of kit, and you've got them all separate, and having to carry around 3 different bits of kit, and this records as well, you may as well buy a pair of these. And for the convenience, you've got everything rolled into one for the same money, and you can film whatever it is you're looking at. Even for like nature, I mean, I must admit, I haven't even used these hunting yet. First time I took them out was just down the river, just watching what was going on, watching the buzzards flying about, watching the seabirds down on the estuary. Fantastic things, really good. So what I'll do, I'll tag some footage on the end of this with all 3 channels, thermal, night vision and the day vision stuff, and you can have a look and see what you think. But thoroughly recommend these. I got these from Optics Warehouse, ordered them one day, arrived the next day, and they're dead handy at Optics Warehouse as well. Really good chaps to talk you through it all. So, you know, they explained what these things are all about, said that they were fairly intuitive to use, and I must admit, I haven't even, like I said, I didn't even read the instructions. I just literally got it out of the box, had a look at it and thought, yeah, it looks easy enough, away we go. You can alter all the settings inside, for which you will need to read the instructions, but, you know, it's, if you just want to use them as they are, then it is very intuitive. Fantastic things. Thanks for watching.